I took the very best selling shoe and said, okay, you can take all of these. I want this and I want a 10% royalty because I'm about to be on TV. And then when it got on TV, when Robin Big hit MTV, like then everything, all my signature products exploded. But that shoe that I knew was already going to be a huge seller. Then I made, I was making $4 or $5 million a year off just that one.
Just the shoe.
Yeah.
What about the TV show? Was the TV show big? It's MTV. I don't think they pay huge.
Well, no. In the beginning, I was getting like, I don't know, 15 grand an episode, season one.
That's
you know what I mean? Yeah, like you're not paying like, especially back then, you're not paying like two first-time random people.
But that was, and it was at your in your warehouse.
No, that one was in my house. Robin Big was at my house, and look, I saw what happened.
And
with
who are
Bam.
the other guys?
It was just myself, Big Black, my cousin, and then two of Big Black's friends, and our dog Meaty. But you got to understand, at that time, I saw what happened to Bam Margera's signature product. From being on Jackass, right? So it had just blown.
I don't know what happened with it.
It exploded. Like he was like selling more product than any other skateboarder there was without being necessarily like a top tier pro skater. So when I renegotiated, before the show launched, I renegotiated all of my deals for higher royalties and lower set fees.
Right.
And then I just made millions when the show exploded. I bet on myself that this platform would do it. So then, okay, I made millions off of my signature products when I did Fantasy Factory.
Which was your place. You bought a warehouse?
Which is my warehouse I had in downtown. They, at the time, then they're like, we'll give you 125 grand an episode to either do a 4th season of Robin Big or your own show. So I wrote my own show and said the only way I would do it if I own the integrated marketing. So then I now own the platform. So then I sold millions and millions of dollars of deals to Microsoft and Chevy and Monster and DC and everybody.
Wait, the sales department gave you the integration?
Because it was still a little early. It was still this gray area where it was before sort of Bethany Frankel's like Skinny Girl and like the Jersey Shore came out and all them. It was right before all that. So I was able to own it contractually. So I was now selling my own airtime for millions of dollars that MTV had no control over.
Right, but you didn't get pushback from the sales department at MTV?
They couldn't because I own the rights. I wouldn't do it was contractually I own the rights.
But say, I'm just throwing out a name. Say Ford, you got a deal with Ford. And
I did a deal with Chevy.
Okay.
I was the only person ever to flip a car, barrel roll a car, ramp to ramp on a front wheel drive car. It was for the season premiere of season 3 of Fantasy Factory and a Super Bowl commercial. And I sold all of that directly to Chevy, not
okay, and they paid you.
Right.
What I'm saying is, at the network, the sales department, then does that not close the door to them to Ford? Does Ford want to have a commercial on a show that is flipping a Chevy?
No.
Right, so you're tying the hands of the sales department, and the whole way that a network makes money is by selling advertising.
Correct.
So they kind of changed the rule because you can't do that anymore. They own the integration, so they changed the rules because of you.
Yeah, I'm saying like I was the last person to slip it in there because they were like, the way I did the contract too is like if it was integrated into the story of the show and that I had 100% approval of the integration of the story into the show. And so, but I also said, hey, if you guys want me to create a show for something, we can do that too. So they were like, all right, it felt like a give and take, unless they would come to me with someone unless they wanted to pay me on the side. I would say no, not do it. I would only do deals with people that paid me first, and then if they wanted to do a deal with the network second, they could do that.
Wow, so you probably made a fortune on that show.
I did.
Why'd you stop doing the show?
Oh, it's just, I was getting attacked by tigers and getting towed into waves and breaking world records, jumping cars backwards. It was like so stunt intensive and just, it would take me 6 months to shoot 10 episodes where it takes me, a few hours to shoot 6 episodes today for something like Ridiculousness,
So you just felt like but you ended it, not the network.
Yeah, well, I mean, initially I ended it. We had our season finale, and then part of like an extended deal for Ridiculousness at that time, they said they would give me like a guaranteed pickup of like 60 episodes if I'd commit to another season of Fantasy Factory. So it was
Ridiculousness was going at the same time?
Yeah, so Ridiculousness, yeah, they were I was doing both of them at the same time. So I actually sold them both at the exact same time.
They bought 2 shows from you at one time.
Yeah, because originally I read the article like in 2007 of Vinny DiBona's $500 million global syndication of America's Funniest Home Videos, and was like, man, like I need to make that. I should just make the cool version of America's Funniest Home Videos. And I took a 1-hour episode of America's Funniest Home Videos, stripped it down to just the good videos, made a little compilation, and just had like my Xbox controller and went in and did the show almost exactly how I do the show, of like trying to show that, hey, there's like a opportunity for this type of content at a much higher, cooler pace. And so they picked them up both at the same time, but they would only pay me $30,000 for Ridiculousness, and they were going to give me $125,000 per episode for Fantasy Factory. And I just didn't want to do them both at the exact same time. So once we shot the first season of Fantasy Factory, then we shot Ridiculousness after that.
And now, Ridiculousness has become, I think that's the network. It's the Ridiculousness.
It's Catfish and Ridiculousness all the time, all day.
And I was lucky enough, you invited me on, and I went there. And I got to say that I was blown away by the well-oiled machine. As he said on the last time, that, as many episodes as you do, he told us, you shared that it's like 4% of your time.
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So I went in, I walked right onto the set. They said, roll. I was out of there. It's a half-hour show, is it?
Yeah.
I think I was out of there in 40 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, we I think that day it was 31. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, maybe 31.
I time all of them. You know what I mean? But boy, what an amazing guest you were, man! I can't thank you enough.
I was wonderful.
You were amazing.
No, I was just thinking about how good I was.
Look at us, 2 humble guys getting together.
No, I mean, have you ever had a guest like me? I am fucking brilliant,
man. Look,
sometimes
certainly one. Not even joking, one of the best guests, without a doubt.
So why didn't you ask me back?
Well.